What's up? So today we're gonna go over this James Earl Jones video that I seen on TikTok. The young lady made me get intrigued about it because it seemed like James Earl Jones was talking smack about black women, and I'm like, let me go find this video or let me go find this interview and let me actually sit through it and see what he's talking about and listen to it. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna listen to this video.
Jim, do black men marry white women because of the nature of black women? I know in some of our earlier conversations you mentioned that the black women you've met have been uptight. What do you mean by that? Well, I'll answer the one question. What do you mean by uptight? Going toward a more militant attitude about their own identity. Um,
Okay. Let's go back.
been uptight. What do you mean by that? Of our earlier conversations, you mentioned that the black women you've met have been uptight. What do you mean by that? Well, marry white women because of the nature of black women.
Do black men marry white women because of the nature of a black woman? Okay, that's the question that's being asked. Do black men marry white women because of the nature of a black woman? Right? Okay, let's hear it again.
Women because of the nature of black women. I know in some of our earlier conversations. Jim, do black men marry white women because of the nature of black women? I know in some of our earlier conversations you mentioned that the black women you've met have been uptight. What do you mean by that?
He said black women that he's met have been uptight, uptight, right? And what do he mean by that, right?
Well, I'll answer the one question. What do you mean by uptight? Going toward a more militant attitude about their own identity.
Militant attitude about their own identity. Militant attitude about their own identity. Okay. Keyword militant. And we know militant means combative and aggressive in support of a political or social cause and typically favoring extreme violent or confrontational methods, right? He's calling us combative and aggressive. So combative and aggressive, right? I'm gonna go back a little bit more, guys, because I keep stopping.
What do you mean by uptight? Going toward a more militant attitude about their own identity. And in many ways are way ahead of the black man because I don't know why, but in many ways are replacing the black man. There's a whole almost un, unfeminine aspect of the black militant woman.
Unfeminine aspect about the
Feminine aspect of the black militant woman. Do you find that some black women you
the black militant woman. So James Earl Jones says that the black woman is militant, has a militant attitude towards their own identity, which they have a combative and aggression against their own identity, right? And he says that the black woman, and this is during, I think, the 1980s to the 1990s, this interview was being conducted. So he said that a black woman was the black woman was ahead of the black man and replacing the black man, right? And it had an unfeminine aspect about the black militant woman. Let's continue.
Do you find that some black women you've known out of your personal experience blame the black man for what happened to them in slavery even today? Of course.
The interviewer asked him that does he know of any black women that actually blame the black man for the enslaved times, for when they were enslaved, right?
If the black man, regardless of the causes, failed to protect her, left her in a position where she had to sell herself or bargain with her body, and so, yes, she had there's resentment about that, but it's very complex now. You see, I think in another generation you'll get a whole crop uptight about their position in society.
He said you'll get a whole nother crop. Hold on. So he's saying you'll get a whole crop of uptight about their position in the society. So he's basically saying that black woman is gonna feel a way in years to come about their position in society, right?
There are many, because I'm generalizing now, many are overreacting against Aunt Jemima, the Aunt Jemima image, the submissive Mother Earth type, unselfish, all giving, especially all giving to the white man, sexually and in the kitchen, every other way. And she's also overreacting against the problem of having to be the breadwinner, the matriarch of the house. The myth of the black matriarch is really a myth because she is not. It wasn't her choice. Many black women, I'm sure, once they found this job had a certain social and political dignity to it, relished it and wielded the rolling pen, like any minority group mama would do. Uh, but no matter how much she might relish it, it wasn't her choice to begin with. Um,
So it appears to me, right, that James Earl Jones is just explaining the complexity of the black woman, and if anything, he's explaining that the black woman, in so many cases, was by design, right? It was designed off a systematic racism that cultivated and bred and completely turned the nature of the black woman, right? They took a feminine and pushed it into a masculine. And so now you have hyper feminine masculines, right? You have a lot of black women that are hyper, they could be hyper feminine and hyper masculine at the same time. You got you like a goddamn hybrid, right? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving a hybrid. And nobody says hybrids are good. Nobody says hybrids are bad. But hybrids are hybrids. And when you take, when you really listen to what is being asked and how the question is being answered, I don't think Earl is trying to be disrespectful of the black woman in any way? I think he's trying to tell his experience and his thoughts about what's actually happening with the black woman and why. And I believe that's why he didn't choose one. Like, seriously, when you really listen to what James Earl is saying, I believe the reason he didn't choose a black woman was because it is a lot of work. Deprogramming, allowing the woman to demasculate, like come out of the masculine on her own terms, because you can't make nobody. You can do a whole lot of things. You can make people do a whole lot of things, but it's hard to make a black woman do something. Because I'm one. It's hard. It's hard because she is like steel. She is like iron. She's not going to budge. It's a lot. This is not all, because not all of us have the same roots. Not all black people are created equally, but a lot. And this is generalization. A lot of black women are suffering from our past. We are suffering. We are in deep suffering from what was done to us and the position that was placed upon us, right? I know just the other day, I was just cooling it. I was relaxing. I wasn't doing anything. And I felt guilty because I wasn't doing something. All my life, I was made to believe that I need to be doing something. I need to be doing something. I need to be doing something. I need to be cleaning up. I need to be studying. I need to be doing something. And me at my big age, I still sometimes feel guilty about just sitting down. Because when something is ingrained in you, something that has been ingrained in you before you was even a thought, even before your ancestors was a thought, your mama was a thought, your grandma, when something has been instilled in you for such a long lineage like that, it is a hard circle to break. It's like an infinity symbol. It just goes on and on and on and on. And somebody has to be able to realize it and break it. But okay, let's get back to it.
She would always have preferred the black male to have run the house, to have.
I'm so glad Earl said this because this is facts. This is facts. I have met a plethora of black women, and I've never really came across with a black woman who didn't want a black man and didn't want that black man to come in and do everything we hear that they supposed to do. Okay, I have never met one that didn't believe in the father comes into the home or the male comes into the home and he makes sure the home is taken care for and provided for. And I don't mean the type of provision where you a mean a-hole. I mean the type of provision where not only do you provide financially, you provide spiritually and physically. You provide. Mentally, you provide. It's a 360. I mean it's a whole complete circle. It's a whole thing. It's a whole. It's a whole. Okay? It's not a 1/4. It is a whole. Right? It is not a half, it is a whole. It's not 1/3, it is a whole.
Saved her from white rapists and white slave owners. Why did you marry Jim? But first,
It's just the way that Peggy Sue over here was looking. Peggy Sue was looking like, what you mean why I married him? What you mean why he married me? Like she just was looking like she was ready to check this man. But let's see what Peggy Sue got to say.
do you know what Jim means by the uptightness of black women?
She was so ready to answer this question that she couldn't even the reporter couldn't. You see how James let that reporter say every word and then he responded. She was so ready to explain why black women was uptight, baby. Let's get to it.
Oh, yes. You've been in the well, I felt it. I've sensed
She
it.
felt
With
it.
almost every black woman that we know, whether they accept me or not, whether.
So she has felt the uptightness from women who do accept her in a racial relationship and the women who don't. So I guess she trying to say she not being biased. Like it's not just from the women who don't accept us. No, it's from the women that accept us as well.
There's always a tolerance, but there's always hostility behind it. I can understand it intellectually. Thank God I didn't have to go through the process that made.
Honey, did you hear this lady? She said, God, I didn't have to. She said she thanked God that she didn't have to go through the systemic racism, okay? The blatant racism, misuse, mistolerance of the black woman. And that and what else, Sue?
Made it occur. I have
She glad that she didn't have to go through the process that made it occur. That's why white women, I be, no tea, no shade. I just be like, I know y'all done been through some things. I'm not gonna say y'all ain't been through some things. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not a white woman, and I'm not gonna say y'all ain't been through some stuff because I know y'all have. But what I'm saying to you is to be a black woman in this day and time, right? To know that just a couple hundred years, just 50 years ago, I couldn't go in the same bathroom with you. I'm in the South, baby. I'm from the deep South. I couldn't even go in the bathroom, couldn't even drink the same water with you. The fact that my ancestors was just slaves the other day, and y'all think that this society of black women is supposed to just be perfect, it's beyond me. When you really break it down and look at the dates and get entwined with these, the way that black women operate is really not off. If anything, like she's saying, we're witnessing it in today's time. See, Earl gone. Earl got to see what he said. Him and his sweet, his snow bunny. He got to see this shit play out. He got to see this stuff play out. They both did, and I think Sue's still alive. Just running back.
Actually, thank God I didn't have to go through the process that made it occur. I happen to think it's a good thing that they're showing hostility. I think it's the only thing they can.
The fact. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Sue said she think hostility, them showing hostility is normal. And that what y'all think? The black woman was just the black woman was just having to go through psychological warfare from the fact that if she dropping off babies, they might get split up. Okay, her husband might get split up from her. Okay, she got to worry about. Let's say that she is one of the ancient mama figures, right? Ancient mama was fucking chained up in the kitchen. She had shackles on her feet. Do we know this? Auntie Mama had a shackle on, and she was tied to that kitchen because that was her job. Her job was to prepare that food and shut the fuck up and not say nothing. Her job was to prepare them biscuits. And if Master wanted to have his time with her, he could. And if the first lady wanted to smack her around or make her iron some extra clothes, she had to. You She was around here feeding babies that was gonna one day disrespect her. Nursing children. Come on now. It ain't far off. It ain't far off. If you really look at the psychological thriller of it all, it ain't far off. So black women showing hostility, she said shit, what you think? They can't be mad. Why they always so pressed about us not having a good day? I don't understand that.
I happen to think it's a good thing that they're showing hostility. I think it's the only thing they can show at the moment. And I think out of the hostility, I think that's a healthy sign. Take your taste buds on a.
Sue said that was a healthy sign because that's facts. Was black women's After black woman had been submissive for so long and a head of her household for so long, what did y'all expect, black men? This is a question to black men. What did y'all expect? This is like no tea, no shade. Like this is not to um make anybody feel bad. This is just an open discussion of what did black men really think was going to happen um once slavery was over. Like, what did you think was going to happen to the black woman? Did the black woman ever cross y'all's mind? I know. Um, I understand black men had to think about black men, but the black woman is very much a part of the black man. So I don't understand, like, what did you think was going to happen, right? Um, the black man married the white woman because it was easier. It was easier. She's already been conditioned in her femininity. She's already been conditioned for that. At this point, she gets to choose whether or not she wants to be feminine or not. Black women didn't have no choice. She ain't had a lot of choices, when it came to that. And I think James Earl knew that it was just easier. It was easier. If basically you telling me that back then a lot of black women had a chip on their shoulder and they was walking around combative and aggressive, then a lot of men were not wrong when they said, "Oh, black women are hard to deal with," because they might be because it's some things that happen to the black woman that it's not that old. It's not that It's not that many generations old. It's some things that is psychologically wrong. Okay, it's some characteristics and there's some wrongs that have to be learned that are wrong. But y'all gonna have to just let this play out. Just like y'all let everything else play out. The black woman just gonna have to play out. It's gonna have to run its course. One thing about black woman is advanced. Okay, you say what you want to say about black woman. Black woman is beautiful. She's advanced in a lot of things. The adaptability of a black woman, the versatility of a black woman. Even when you say you hate us, we know you love us. Okay, we know this. We know this, right? But James, I ain't mad at you for picking an easier route. Which interracial marriage in itself is not an easier route because you gotta be. I know personally, you gotta be getting some looks, especially back in that day, child. You was probably getting all types of looks and dirty looks and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is, I'm not mad at you because you chose this white lady, and she probably was just a little bit more tamed. She had the freedom to be. She didn't have to be uptight and aggressive. The world was molded for her to live in it happily. The world was molded for her in mind. The world was not molded for black. America was not molded with the black woman in mind. We were there just to exist. We weren't there to live. We were there to assist. You know? So I get it. I understand. You know? So, y'all, I thank y'all so much for, coming in, tuning in with me. I think that James Earl Jones did a really good job of trying to explain, some of the psychological disadvantages and sometimes kind of advantages that help push black woman to be the black woman that she is today. I think I'm proud of us. I feel like we've come a long way. I'll never be ashamed. Never. Never be ashamed of where I come from. Never ashamed of my roots. Never be ashamed of the black woman period. Because they can say what they want to say, but we here. We're here. We've always been here. And we're not going anywhere. Okay? Okay. So y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section. I really want to know what y'all thinking. I really want to know how y'all feel about this interview. Do you totally disagree with me? Tell me that. Tell me in the comment section. Let me know that you totally disagree with me. Or if you agree with me, let me know that too. Alright? So I thank you so much for joining me. Until next time. Peace.
Facts. All facts. Glizzy. Wish on the star, need rats. Play with the gang, I'ma aim for your back. Yo.
Full of the mess like I come from the dentist. Cup full mixed with some shit like a chemist.